Hi guys, Ian here, and this is the ZiiGaat Crescent. It is a 2DD plus 2BA hybrid IEM. Retail price for this is $279 US, and if you're interested to find out more, do check out the unaffiliated link down in the description below. Alright, so looking at the price, this is clearly positioned as a mid-tier type of IEM, basically targeting at a more serious IEM or headphone hobbyists, and it's definitely not budget. And I've been using this for about 2 weeks now, so I'm here to share with you guys my thoughts and opinions about this ZiiGaat Crescent. So let's begin first with the accessories. This is the retail box that it comes in. Very nice box. At the side here, there are some specs. Let me read that out to you. As I mentioned, this is a hybrid IEM, so it's got 2 dynamic drivers and 2 balance armatures, in which the dynamic drivers are isobaric, meaning they are facing each other. Sensitivity is 102. Impedance is 12 ohms, and the frequency range is 20 to 25,000 hertz. Now inside the box you'll get a paperwork, of course, and then you get this huge carrying case, and it's a hard shell case. I think it's a PU leather, it's not real leather. Yeah, it's PU leather. And inside it you get a mesh pocket for you to put all your ear tips and accessories. On this side you can put your IEMs with individual cutout placeholders for the earphones itself, and then you can coil the cable right here. Or if you are not happy with this, you can entirely take it out and then organize the IEM however you want. Okay, so that's the carrying case. You'll get 2 types of ear tips. One is the clear ear tips, both of which are actually quite similar. The clear ones are a little bit narrower, I would say. It's not really clear on this, but yeah, it's a bit narrower compared to the smoked ear tips. But both, I find that they feel about the same to me. Maybe it's a bit wider, I don't know. But to me, they sound pretty similar. It's just that the clear transparent ear tips is a little bit more grippier as compared to the smoked ear tips, and both comes with small, medium and large. Okay, you get extra filters, okay, nozzle filters, just in case the existing one gunks up, and you can change it out so that it doesn't look so gross. And the cable is a 4-core cable with interchangeable plugs. So they are provided with 3.5 and 4.4 headphone plugs, and it's very easy to change out. You can see an arrow here, so all you need to do is unplug, okay, and then you will reveal an arrow on the inner side, and all you need to do when you change it out, just match the arrows, and once the arrows match, just push it in. That's how simple it is. So it's a braided cable. Cable is alright. It's a little bit grippy to the touch. At the same time, it's also not a very full-bodied cable, but I would say it's pretty alright, reasonable. The Y split and the chin slider is actually made of metal, so pretty good quality. Ear hooks are pretty nice and soft, and it's terminated with a 2-pin connection. So I find that the cable is decent for the price that they are asking for. It's above average. It's nothing flagship level, but it's pretty solid. Alright, now let's talk about the design and build quality of the IEMs. The shell design uses a resin finish, 3D printed. The faceplate features like a stylish motif with sparkles, as you can see, which gives this a pretty premium aesthetic look. Connectors feels pretty robust. There's no loose parts or wobbles. The nozzle length is somewhat pretty alright, decent, which helps with deep insertion as well. Gives a good seal. Nozzle may be a little bit wide, okay, and if you have those third-party ear tips, it may not fit. The only thing about this shell is that it's a little bit large compared to some other similar priced IEMs, and yeah, so depends on your ear anatomy. You might find that it's a little bit more bulkier. For extended listening, I find it is fine, you know, but I can imagine, you know, for those people with smaller ears or smaller conkers, or shallower canals, may find this a little bit more chunkier, I would say. Alright, so let's talk about the fit and comfort, and I found that the Crescent is pretty comfortable and secure in my ear. The nozzle is helping with the seal because it's actually pretty long. It's not very long, but it's long enough, and it helps with the seal and helps with the bass extension and the bass performance as well. The cable is alright, and it's pretty comfortable, and the chin slider actually helps to you know, secure the earphones in my ears. The shell is medium in size, so it fills up my entire ear concha, or the inner ear. And if you wear glasses, the shell edges might contact your frame just a little bit more than some other smaller shell IEMs, but I didn't notice any fatigue when wearing this, and there's no insertion pressure because there are vents on top here. So very usable for long sessions. It's not invisible, you definitely can feel it, you can hear it, as compared to smaller IEMs, and it gives me a very good seal when it's in my ear, and it's pretty stable in my ear, so very comfortable to use. Alright, so let's now go into the sound department. First, let's talk about the tone and timbre. The Crescent offers a pretty natural tone that leans towards fun but still refined, and it's not ultra neutral. So basically it's more of a musical fun kind of tone. It's pretty natural sounding as well, not totally entirely neutral. The bass has a bit of weight, and the mids are slightly behind the bass, but it's not recessed, and the treble has pretty good air and uplift. So in terms of timbre, I would say it's actually pretty balanced. Okay, pretty balanced. It's got this nostalgic, slightly warm sound signature remnants of a vintage tube amplifier because of the bass, but it prioritizes musical engagement, and you know, not giving you that sterile precision. The tonal balance is, I would say, pleasurable rather than purely objective neutral. Alright, so let's talk about the technical performance for these. As for the soundstage, is relatively wide. It offers a pretty good sense of depth and space, and that is pretty above average for the price that it's asking for. Instruments and voice placed with good sound separation. Imaging is precise enough to pinpoint individual instruments in a band. In live recording tracks, you feel a bit of venue space rather than just feeling completely inside your head. In terms of detail retrieval and resolution, the Crescent does pretty well in detail retrieval. The upper treble sparkles brings out the micro textures. Cymbals, string harmonics, ambient room reflections are portrayed very clearly. At the same time, the mids retain good clarity, and voices remain very clear even in complex mixes. But that said, it's not ultra refined. Alright, some extremely fine micro details may slip by, and you may not you know, hear the micro details, but for the price it's asking for, it's actually pretty decent. In terms of sound separation and dynamics, as I mentioned, these are two dynamic drivers and two BAs. It's got a pretty decent slam, especially in the bass and the lower mids region. Transients are pretty fast and good. Kick drums and bass lines hit very hard with authority. And I found that when used with well-matched portable players, the crescendos has decent heft and layers stayed intact. So meaning to say, if you use it with a warm sounding source, this will bring out the overall warmth of the earphones as well. Horns didn't really mask the strings, and strings didn't really mask the vocals. So overall, sound separations are really good and pretty dynamic on the whole. So I would say overall the technical performance is very strong for the price that it's asking for. You get a package that combines good resolution, good stage, and sound separation with engaging dynamics, rather than just purely sterile analytical tuning. Alright, so let's move into the sound signature. I'll post my graph somewhere up here so you guys can see. First, let's go through the sub bass. It's got strong presence, and you get a very nice rumble and authority from the sub bass. Kick drums and synthesizers and the rumbles from those instruments, they sound very good, and you can feel it as well. It's elevated relative to a neutral monitor. The low end has very good extension and good slam as well, and in mixes where sub bass is present, very present, the Crescent keeps up and doesn't sound lean. So I would say this is very solid sub bass. If you like a very firm sub bass, this Crescent will give it to you. In terms of the mid bass, is also elevated. You feel that punch, the click, the impact, especially on rock songs, bass heavy pop songs, and electronic music, and it stays under control pretty well. I mean, the bass impact is pretty authoritative, but at the same time it's not overwhelming the mids. So on some tracks though, you may perceive a slight mid-bass bump relative to a full neutral set. So it does have that presence, but it's not overly done and does not bleed into the mids. Now in terms of the mid-range, vocals and instruments are well pushed out, though the mids are slightly pulled back relative to the bass. It's not a mid-forward tuning, but voices are clear, it's present, but you won't get that same spotlight as a strictly vocal-centric IEM. Because the bass and treble are a bit more prominent, the mids are in like a forming link role where it's more of a U-shaped rather than the king. I also found that the female vocals, they retained body, male vocals, they held the timbre, but for some subtle mid-range micro layers in extremely busy tracks, they will sound slightly recessed. As for the pinna gain or the upper mids, it has been tuned such that there is a good presence without the fatigue, without the harshness as well. And I didn't find any sibilance or any shout in most of the tracks that I listened to. However, in some very bright tracks, or if the tip or the cable there's a mismatch, or I didn't use the correct ear tips, the pinna gain can become a little bit more forward than than desired. So it is actually depending on the ear tip and cable that you're gonna use with this. But overall, there's no sibilance or any shoutiness on the pinna gain or the upper mid range. Now as for the treble, it's very lively, it's very airy as well, with good extensions. Cymbals, hi-hats, string harmonics come across with clarity, and the top end is very airy, and the Crescent does give you some sparkle on certain songs. However, this is actually a caveat. On exaggerated bright recordings, it can become a bit too bright. And for those treble sensitive listeners, you might want to tip roll a little bit, maybe use a more narrower bore ear tip to reduce that brightness, or lower the volume when you're listening to it so it won't sound as sibilant or sharp. Okay, but it's not sharp on normal case use. Alright, so let's conclude. I would say the ZiiGaat Crescent is one of the stronger, fun, plus serious looking IEM at this price range. So if you value impressive bass slam, lively treble, very wide soundstage, a good build, and very good accessories to accompany it, and you don't demand absolute neutrality, this ZiiGaat Crescent is a very compelling choice. Now the fit and the comfort are good, though the shell may be a little bit too large for my ears, or even those ears that are smaller than mine, and to me, the build quality and the accessories is very competitive for the price that they are asking for. So the pros for this is that it's got impactful bass, that treble is very airy, it's got good soundstage, strong technical performance for the price, and it's got great value as well. In terms of cons, it's not ultra neutral, it's not marketing itself to be, and the treble might be a little bit forward or bright for those super treble sensitive people, and the shell size may be a little bit bulky for smaller ears. So I would say the Crescent is a worthy addition to your collection, especially if you want something that entertains and performs rather than purely referencing. You get a strong dynamics with the isobaric drivers, good sound separation, and a sound signature that will bring energy to many genres. On the flip side, if you are chasing the last drop of resolution or ultimate clarity, you might look towards slightly more neutral or refined IEMs. So to conclude, I would say for the price this asking for is value for money, and it sounds really good. Alright, so that's my overall thoughts and opinions about this ZiiGaat Crescent. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and also please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. My name is Ian. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in my next video. Cheers.